A lot of you guys might have thought we weren't going to be doing this, but these characters are just too good to not to review for you guys. So we're going to be going over Shoreline Fina and Daisy, as well as the new Neovision Awakenings for Summer Lid and Fina, as well as Summer, Folka, and Citra. And then obviously Manure is on the banner as well. So thanks for joining us here again for this fantastic Summer in November banner review. Let's check it out. Let's go over Shoreline Fina and Daisy. It's going to be a game-changing tank for you guys here. So let's talk about their TMR first. It's Beach Party. It gives 40% HP, 30% MP, and 40% Spirit, with a little bit of water resist there at 40% as well. Just a nice little stat stick TMR. You can use this to activate their trust ability and be happy with it. So go ahead, pick that up for sure. Her STMR here is the Midsummer Boater. This is going to be a headpiece with 102 Spirit, 50% water resist, and the effect of Never Ending Summer, which gives you a 100% chance to ignore fatal damage when your HP is above 5%, max one time. It also gives you 30% health on top of that. This is also very strong for this character because they are going to have their own HP threshold, but their HP threshold is at a different lock. It's going to be a 1% threshold. So this should be able to work with their own threshold lock in their own passive here, Vacation with the Bestie. So if you get your hands on that, she's going to have to die 2 times before she actually dies. So let's get into their kit here for you guys. You can go into Brave Shift form whenever you want, available on turn 1. It lasts infinite turns, and you can come out with a 2-turn cooldown. Equipment selection, knives, all of the stuff that you want. Swords, going in with the staves, rods, even if you want the bows and whips, whatever it is that you need to do, you can throw that in there. She also wears shields, both light and heavy, as well as robes, heavy armor, light armor. She has everything for you guys there. Now, let's talk about some of her unique aspects here. So she does have some supportive capabilities here. She has a 180% attack defense in spirit buff with the magic buff as well for 3 turns, but it also has a 3-turn light imbue for your party there. That's actually pretty fantastic, as well as having the buffs. She has the imbues, so if you need access to that, that's going to be pretty good, especially in those stages for Dark Vision. She can also be a light imbue if you're fighting a stage like that. Now, she also has a 50% raise as well on her dual cast, so keep that in mind. She's not like a white mage, but she does have some healing capabilities with a 50% HP raise and a 6,000 HP heal to your party there. This stuff isn't going to maintain, and she's not going to be like the Neovision version of Chow or anything like that, but she does have that sort of capability. Now, she also has a provoke here with Splash Fight, which is a 100% provoke for 3 turns. That also gives her 75% damage mitigation, just straight up damage mitigation. So both physical and non-typed, as well as magic damage, she's going to mitigate all of them with that. We have seen a character like this. Obviously, CG Cecil back in the day would give himself the 75% damage mitigation every time he swapped around. She has it on her provoke. She also has access to a 90% lightning, water, wind, and light resist buff, so a lot of these capabilities are quite fantastic. On top of that, she also has some MP recovery for your party with her cooldown skill, Healing Ripples. 2-turn cooldown available right away on turn 1. In addition to that 200 MP refresh that's split over 2 turns, she also gives 12 limit burst gauge crystals to your entire party, which is a very strong capability if you are using a limit burst gauge filling needing team in FFBE. So she also has a mainstay magic cover. She is mainly a magic cover tank. She does have some other capabilities to cover physical damage, but mainstay magic cover is what she's going to be with here. This is going to be her Brave ability, the Rip Current. 80% magic mitigation with a 60 to 80% proc rate for 4 turns to the caster. That is a lot of magic mitigation on a cover. 80% is a ton, especially since it's always 80%. It's not one of those mitigations that covers between like 60 and 80. It's always 80, so she's going to be super bulky here. The cover mitigation, awesome there, plus the 75% general mitigation. Those are going to stack together because one's cover and one is general mit, so that's going to make her ultra bulky. She also has Marine Wall, which is going to be her Grandis ability. It's going to give an 8,000 HP barrier and make your team immune to Spirit Break. Nothing super crazy, but it is there if you need that sort of effect. Now, the rest of her Envy skills here, we have 3 cooldown skills to go over. She has Magic Mitigation, 75% for 3 turns to your whole party. So she's got Cover Mitigation, Magic Mitigation for your whole party, and General Mitigation for yourself. In addition to that, it also increases your Water, Earth, Light, and Dark resist by 100% for 3 turns to your entire team. Now, also keep in mind, we also had Lightning, Water, Wind, and Light resist there, so she's going to have a couple of overlapping elements there, but she's going to be gaining a couple bonus ones with those two increased on each other. They're 100%, and then the Lightning here coming in at 90%, Wind coming in at 90% there, so keep that in mind there. Then we have Nereid's Kiss here, 4-turn cooldown, auto revive 50% HP for 2 turns to your whole party, and also mitigates magic damage by 80% for 2 turns to all allies as well. So between the Lagoon Shell and the Nereid's Kiss, right, one of them's on a 5-turn cooldown, one of them's on a 4-turn cooldown, one of them gives you a 75% magic mitigation for 3 turns, and the other one gives you an 80% magic mitigation for 2 turns. You don't want to stack these 2 cooldown skills together with each other. You want to, right, once one of the magic mitigation cooldowns wears off, the effect's no longer there, then you swap to the other one. Once that one wears off, you'll be able to swap back to the other one again and maintain this magic damage mitigation for your whole party between these 2 cooldowns. That is a fantastic thing to do there. Now we have Sexy Summer Girl out here, has some charm, all right, 80% charm, 250% spirit buff, and 50% general mitigation for herself there. Nothing super crazy on that skill, but it is there. Now she also has Coastal Combination. This is going to be her chaining skill, Stardust Ray. So even though she is a tank, she does have the ability to dual cast some Stardust Ray stuff. If you need to use her as a support chainer, maybe mix and match her with Mastermind Zahn and Dark Visions. You chain together here, have her tank, have her do some buffs for yourself, have her do the light imbue for your party, whatever it is that you need her to do, mitigate that damage, and then make that support chain if you need to utilize that. This is magic damage 50 times mod with spirit scaling, and it's a physical attack that does magic damage, so it's going to be doing damage based off of your spirit, but it is going to be able to benefit from physical killers. It is going to be able to benefit from elemental weapons or elemental imbues, so that's going to help you with the ease of access to chaining there. Now passives, obviously nothing super crazy. We already talked about the best one, possibly to stack with our super TMR, which is Vacation with the Bestie. They ignore fatal damage, 100% proc rate when your HP is above 1%. Remember that her STMR, the hat, is 5%, so you're definitely going to want to wear that because you get knocked down, you're at 5% HP, you would die. You get hard locked at 5% HP, the boss hits you again. If you would die, you get hard locked at 1% HP. And then if you die again, you're going to re-raise, and these are going to reactivate again. And so then you have to get hit, knocked down to 5%. Get hit, knocked down. It's really hard to kill her with re-raise on. We want to talk about that. But on top of that, another thing that works really well with re-raise, and another thing that makes her very, very unique, is the Beauties Amongst Waves passive here. This gives her 50% HP, but it auto casts AoE magic cover at the start of the battle or after being revived. So that is going to be an amazing thing. It's going to be a nightmare in arena as well. If you guys want to run a troll arena comp, she's going to start the battle with magic cover up, and she's just going to take all that damage for you. So, you know, if you want to be safe from those 17 Kujas in one team, you go attack them, you're just going to have that auto cover up. Yeah, she's going to die, but it's going to be a good time there. So keep that in mind as well. The rest of her passives, nothing super crazy, just some resistances. Dark resist 100%, light resist 50%, just a bunch of tanky passives, spirit, HP, spirit, a little bit of defense, but just a bunch of tankiness there, and that's going to be her base form. The final thing in her base form here is her LB, 100% light resist buff, light physical damage and magic damage buff is increased by 25% for 3 turns as well. So she does have the light imbue. She can also further increase the damage that you're doing, magical or physical, by 25% for your whole party for 3 turns. And then it also is going to apply a general mitigation buff of 50% for 3 turns to all allies. So she has the very CG Charlotte-esque ability to be your general mitigator, and then also apply full-time uptime on magic damage mitigation for your party as well. And you can do all of this. You're going to have freeform on turn 1 because you don't really need to cover on turn 1. You're going to start the battle with cover. You're going to be also on top of that covering those preemptive attacks, put your cover back up, and have a way, just a fun time with your opponents on the seabed here with Shoreline Fina and Daisy. But she's a Neovision character, so let's talk about her Rave Shift ability here. Brave Shifting turns her into more of an offensive support type character. She still maintains her tankiness and her abilities to do supportive aspects that we talked about before, but she also has, if you need, the first thing here, Water Sphere Shot, 75% attack, defense, magic, and spirit break. Not the top of the line, it's not 85, 80%, 90%, but 75 is still really good, and she can do this to one enemy. It's not on a cooldown, it's just a one-hit skill. It is only a single target though, so keep that in mind. She also has 100% Earth Imperil and the ability to add Earth element to your physical attacks for 3 turns to your whole party as well. So her base form has Light Imbue, her Brave Shift form has Earth Imbue. She still has the 6,000 HP heal, she still has the 75% general mitigation in the Provoke. Now she also has Fire, Ice, Earth, and Dark resist here with Heated Beach Volleyball. So between her base form and this form, you could cover, I do believe, every element in the game between the two forms here, because Fire, Ice, Earth, those really weren't on the other side, the base form, but they are on this side, so keep that that in mind. That is also on her dual cast, and that is also going to be a Brave ability that you guys are going to need to level up. We still have Healing Ripples. We still have Rip Current here with her AoE magic cover. Now we have what we were talking about before. We have a Grandis ability, 1 use per battle period, and this is her physical cover. She's not a physical cover tank, unless you're trying to literally use her for a couple of turns and one-shot the boss, because this is mitigates physical damage taken by 80% for 2 turns to all allies, and chance to protect all allies from physical damage 80% with 85% cover mitigation for 2 turns to the caster. So she has the ability to cover that physical attack, and anything that is an uncoverable physical attack, she also has that mitigation for your party there. But this is 1 use per battle, guys, and it only lasts 2 turns, so it's not her main role, but it's an emergency thing that she can do. Or like I said, if you're trying to slot her in, you're going to take out a boss, and in 1 or 2 turns, you can use her as that short-term physical tank, but not a long-term physical tank in any stretch of the imagination. We still have Lagoon Shell and Nereid's Kiss on this form as well, so she still has the ability to provoke for you, cover herself for magic damage, cover physical damage for that short period of time, and she still has the general mitigation and magic mitigation buffs for your party here that we talked about before. Now we also still have Midsummer Radiance here, different name here, but it's still the Stardust Ray Chaining Frame family for you there. And her limit burst here is Beach Volley, which is going to be an 80 times mod that does damage based off of your spirit. It's still a physical attack there, so it will scale with, you know, elemental imbues, physical killers. It's also going to increase your earth physical magical damage that your party does by 25% for 3 turns. And she still has the general mitigation on her limit burst as well. So a very flexible character, insanely powerful, and she still has also the same trust ability here, that chance to ignore fatal damage, so that Super Teamer is going to work wonders on her. And she still has beauties amongst the waves in this form as well. So even if she goes down in this form, she's going to auto recast that cover as well. So absolutely fantastic character. If you don't have a magic cover tank, she's just the best one in the game right now. We will be getting more magic cover tanks in the future through Neovision Awakenings, right? We have the old CG Charlotte that's going to get a Neovision Awakening sometime in the future, when we don't exactly know, because they've been shifting that stuff all around. But with that being said, there's also some other stuff we guys want to talk about here, and let's talk about the Neovision Awakenings really quick for Summer Sultra, Folka and Citra, as well as Fina and Lid. So let's get in here. We're going to be covering the new stuff on them. Remember, Folka and Citra was like an Evo damage support type character with some buffs, but nothing super crazy, and she had some ribbon effects for your party. Let's see what they added to her here. Now we have Fabulous Luminosity here, which is going to be a light and peril of 120% with a charm. That's all that skill is, so nothing super crazy there. That's a Brave ability as well that you're going to have to level up to level 5 for that light in peril. We have Sunny Sea Synchronicity, which is a 6-turn cooldown available on turn 1. This is going to be a 200% attack, defense, magic, and spirit buff for 5 turns, as well as a water and light resist buff of 90% for 5 turns. So a little bit of a buff aspect there. You're not going to be able to keep this up full time. I think there's going to be 1 turn downtime there, but it is still pretty strong as a support capability, because she does gain some more damage dealing capabilities as well. My Tai time here is going to be 2 uses per battle. It is her Grandis ability. Cure Stop and Charm and all status ailments, restores 70% MP, and gives a 70% auto revive for 5 turns to your whole party there. So a fantastic skill to return and recoup and give your MP back and make sure you're safe and remove the Stop and Charm. She also has a spammable 5,000 HP barrier here with Glamorous Wall as a Brave ability. She does have triple cast for her skills, and that's going to be her new stuff on her Neovision form here in the base form for active abilities. Afterwards, though, we do have Summer of the Goddesses of Summer. I want to say Summer of Goddesses. This gives her bonus defense for some reason. It increases Summon Sunshine and Summon Waves, which were her old skills that did damage. They're the Evo skills with absolute move equity. They're just, I mean, look at these mods, guys. 3 and 18. Just not that good, even with a 10 times mod increase, even with it double dipping. Is not good at all for her there. She does have a dual wield spirit here, 50% in base dual wield now, which does help her out. Her Neovision LB got a little bit of a buff there, but it's still 52 times mod. This is not 2016 anymore, and that does not cut it. But let's check out her Brave Shift form, and this is where we're going to be getting some of her more damaging skills. So Brave Shift is where you want to be. That's where the party happens for the damage skills. We still have the 120% light and peril with Fabulous Luminosity, but now we also have Surf in the Sun, which is light magic damage, 90 times mod, spirit scaling to 1 enemy here. So Chaos Wave Awaken, light magic damage, 90 mod. She is going to be locked to the triple cast here initially, but you are going to be able to unlock quadruple cast later on. Now we also have Big Wave Surfing, which is a Grandis ability here, which is going to be 3 uses per battle, unique selection on multicast, so you cannot triple cast all 3 of the Big Wave Surfings in one turn, but it's going to be a 10 times mod in the first 7 hits and a 90 times mod in that final hit for a total of 100 mod before mod increase bonuses there. We also have Summer Sweetheart, which is a 100% chance to charm a target for 1 enemy for 1 turn. Now, if there is some sort of boss in the future that is going to be, you know, weak to charm, then she's going to be able to just stall at least 1 turn for you there. But right now, guys, that's not a thing that's going on there. But Burial at Sea here, this is the quadruple cast unlock. 250% spirit buff for 5 turns to the caster, 100% magic killer against Reaper buff for 5 turns to the caster, and quadruple amusement, which is going to be her quad cast for all of her damage dealing skills in this form. Her passives here, we have dual wield again and dual wield spirit of 150% total there, so you'll need to get a 50% more for her, and that's pretty much it. She's got, you know, the traditional things you would expect here. Reaper Killer again, 50% LB damage is a nice thing as well. She can still summon any Esper equipped in the party, so if you need her to summon Golem for some physical damage mitigation, she can still do that. She also has resistance to all status ailments, as well as some light and water resistance there. So her LB in this form is also an 85 times mod with spirit scaling to all enemies on a single hit there, and cures defense and spirit break, and really not all of that amazing. So if you're going to be using this character, it's for her big buffs and, like we said, her normal old form skills to give you guys those ribbon effects, right? Make yourself immune to charm, stop, attack, and magic defense and spirit break, paralysis, confusion, and combine that with her new triple amusement, so you can get the full ribbon effect, get the stop and charm immunity, get the 200% stat buffs, and swap her over Brave Shift form and just start triple casting, quadruple casting her Chaos Wave Awakened skill. She can be ultra bulky because you're going to be building her for spirits, and that's kind of where this character relies. So that's going to be the Neovision form of I always want to call her Folka and Citra now. Folka and Citra. I can't get that. It's a tongue twister. Now we also have Shoreline Fina, who I think between the two Neovision Awakenings got the better end of the deal, because she's just going to be doing better, more of what she used to do, and also gets another role as well with a physical damage dealing true double hand type character. So her Brave Shift availability is available on 1. You can also stay in it for infinite turns, but once you're in it, you're locked in it for a couple of turns until you can swap back out. That's really not going to be that big of a deal. So the new things that they added to Shoreline Fina, remember you guys, if you haven't used her for a while, she was the breaker, the imperiler, the water imbuer for your team. So they did add some bonus stuff for her to do there. So we have aqua replenishment for some bonus MP healing, which isn't that big of a deal. Ocean cooldown here does give you guys fire, ice, lightning, water, and earth resist by 120% for 3 turns to all enemies. That's going to be a big imperil there. So if you guys are looking for some bigger imperils, very flexible, she's going to have access to that. No more having to use her old cooldown skill and then using a skill the following turn to get a 100% imperil. She can just give you all of them for 3 turns at 120% off the gate there. She also has deep sea swimming, which is an 84% attack, defense, magic, and spirit break for 3 turns to 1 enemy. It is single target, but you can triple cast it and change the targets between each cast. You can affect up to 3 enemies this way in a multi-enemy battle. She does have that triple cast like we talked about, and then she also has Summertime Shade 2. This is her latent abilities. If you guys haven't seen it yet, minor HP healing, still can't triple cast it, so not really that big of a buff there if you have her EP skills unlocked. All the rest of her stuff is still the same. Nothing new got really added there. She still has Beach House Break for the LB gauge fill and the emergency HP recovery. She can heal as well for you guys if you guys need to be using her as a healer still. That's the other thing that she was really good at. She does have the ability to heal and put re-raise on your party. Keep that in mind as well. And then she just got better breaks, 84% breaks, 120% on demand imperils, and her limit burst. Her limit burst just didn't get any better. They just didn't change it at all. Actually, it didn't change at all. It's still 75% break. Didn't bump that up to 80 or anything. So that's the one negative thing about her. But her Brave Shift form does give her a new lease on life, because now once you're done breaking, you want to be doing some damage, you want to help your team chain, do some chain finishing damage. She turns into a true double hand chaining / chain finishing character. She does have triple cast in this form, and all of her stuff is just damage. So we have Splash Party. Her Brave ability is going to be a 89 times absolute mirror of equity mod. We have a rock party, rock and beach here. 3 uses per battle. It's our Grandis ability, unique selection on multicast here. This is going to be a 110 times mod chaining skill, also Absolute Mirror of Equity, and it's going to give her a 200% limit burst damage buff for 2 turns to the caster, and her limit burst does do the damage. We also have Water Gun here, which is going to be AoE Absolute Mirror of Equity, only a 50 times mod, and then Mog Beach Ball Blitz, which is a 52 times mod that also gives her a 300% attack break. So you do all your breaking in the normal form, you swap over to this form, you use Party Rockin' Beach, Mog Beach Ball Blitz, right? You get the 300% attack buff, 200% LP damage buff, you help chain up with your other Absolute Mirror of Equity chainers, and then you Splash Party as well. Get those 3 Absolute Mirror of Equity chain skills in, and then you're ready to rock and roll down with her LB. But let's talk about her passives really quick. She does have 200% TDH passively. She also gets 2 LB gauge per turn and 100% LB gauge fill rate. She does not have any sort of passive LB damage, and that's going to be one of the downfalls that's going to help you / hurt you when gearing this character. You're going to need TDH gear, you're going to need killer gear, you're going to need LB damage gear as well, because she has no passive LB damage. And then her LB here is a 120 times mod limit burst as well. So it's nothing game breaking. She's not gonna be the next best damage dealer, but she is going to be a character that you can use as your breaker. 84% breaks, 120% in perils. You can still water imbue, you still can heal with her in her base form. And then when you're ready to go and get that supplemental damage, you go into her Brave Ship form here, do what we said, Splash Party, Rockin' Beach Party, and Mug Beach Ball Blitz here. Get the 300% attack buff, 200% LB damage buff, and then next turn, chain finish with Delightful Water Cannon with that nice little supplemental damage there. So that's going to be Summer Fina in a lid. I didn't butcher that name, thankfully. Now, we also have one more character to talk about before we go on our random YOLO poll, and this is going to be a Manure. I'm going to call her Manure. You can't change my mind. Her TMR, we'll talk about her TMR and Super TMR real quick. Antiquated. Thank you. Uniform. 44 magic, 20% dark resist, and gives you the effect of playing with puzzles. Listen, this is not like the craziest thing of all time, but her STMR is worth talking about here. And this is going to be very similar to the old Kefka 5-star base Super Trustmaster reward. So this is going to give you 100% TDH magic, 40% magic, and 200% high tide. I do believe Kefka's is still better. This one does give you that high tide bonus though, so don't be lulled into thinking that you need this thing. A lot of the mages, like we said, that are doing the big damage, they're not TDH, they are true dual wield. So keep that in mind when you're putting your manures together there. Don't be going off crazy. Now, she is going to be a 7-star damage dealer. This is a 7-star damage dealer. She doesn't really have anything super crazy except for this Mirage ability. So she does have the ability to give stacks of Mirage. She has a cooldown available on turn 1. That's a 9-turn cooldown, 60% physical damage mitigation for 4 turns to your party, and 3 stacks of evasion for 4 turns to your party as well. So you might use this character for that reason, for the Mirages. If you don't have a Mirage character yet, for something like Dark Visions, you really need one with multiple Mirage stacks. You can only do it for a single turn, the multiple Mirage stacks anyways, but she does have access to that as well, guys. And she only has Chaos Wave Awakened 2 different skills, dark damage. So she is Dark Lock to Chaos Wave Awakened. Her multipliers are not anywhere near the rest of the mages in the game, but I did want to mention her ability to mitigate that physical damage temporarily and give you those big stacks of Mirage in case you're trying to use and need a unit to just kind of dodge some stuff for the time being. So that's that, guys. So let's see if we can get a little bit of luck in FFBE. So we're going to do one single pull. If we can get the cool tank, that's going to be awesome. I know there's going to be a lot of cool stuff for us to be pulling on. I would assume closing in on the holiday time. So let's see. We got a rainbow, but we kind of really need this to just blow into something amazing here. I don't know the last Neovision I've gotten, but let's see what we get here. We're cracking in. This is, oh no. This is a big oofsers. This is a guaranteed only. That's we tried. You know what? We tried. Hopefully you guys' luck is better than mine. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Stay safe out there. What do we get on the board? What do we get? I don't know, man. Oh, come on. Just end it. End it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Stay safe out there. We'll be streaming more often really soon. Had to take a break for a little while. But until then, guys, I'll see you in the next one.